All right, new video for today. I haven't been doing much updates on the GTI, but at the moment what I'm doing is I've placed the stock carpet. This car had a huge roach infestation, so I really wanted to get underneath and sanitize everything. So I got most of that done. Just have to clean a few parts and put the interior back together. But instead of putting back the stock seats, I'm gonna be upgrading to these blue racing seats. And so I got one out, the other one's still in the bag, and so far, man, they're pretty decent. One of the reasons I'm replacing them though is because, especially the driver's seat, it's falling apart. Now, this was not as bad when I first bought the car, fucking 2017, but it's gotten worse here, and then the interior is starting to rip up apart. See back here. So one of the things that I am trying to see what I can do is if I can reuse the bottom. That way I can not only have, you know, the slider, the stock slider, but also have the ability to adjust the height. I'm gonna play around with these seats and see what I would need to do to try to retrofit those seats onto the stock, at least the stock bottom. All right, so let's take a closer look at these seats. Got your fake leather here. It's perforated on the bolsters, and then these aren't, and then you got that fake carbon fiber on the sides and the back. This is plastic, looks cheap. I do like that it's a cloth middle. I hate leather seats, especially down here in Houston. Once summertime hits, you sit on one of these fucking leather seats, your ass starts fucking sweating immediately. The brackets look a little janky, but I'll see if those need to be modified or anything. But man, they look nice and they feel nice. I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'6" and about 150 pounds. So these feel perfect. Almost perfect. There's a little bit of wiggle room on the sides up here at the top, but as far as the bottom, man, my thighs are in there. I'm locked in. So yeah, they feel nice. I don't feel any weird shit. I've seen people sit on them and then this will move back and forth. But like I said, I'm a small guy, so maybe I'm not heavy enough to fucking break these. All right, so back-to-back comparison. 100% the stock seats feel very comfortable and plushy and shit. These are stiff. Man, these are, pretty sure long drives are gonna not be as comfortable, but taking turns and shit, very comfortable. They hold me in. These don't, but they feel comfortable. But they're falling apart, so fuck them. So what I did is this bucket that goes in here, I drilled out the spot welds that it had, and then there's some adhesive, so I had to pry it out. That's why it's kind of bent out of shape. And what I'm going to do is put the seat back together and just figure out a way to mount the bottom piece onto the stock frame rail, and I'll just use the mechanism that came with the aftermarket seat to tilt it forward. To have the bottom frame rail here not pivot when you undo this, because I'm gonna take it off, there's a spring, this spring here, that connects to this nub here, and then another part down here. I was able to take that off, and now the top of the seat can move forward, and then this portion here, the frame, the bottom frame, doesn't move forward. And I'll probably weld that or something, make sure that it stays in place. So I'm gonna take this other M8 triple square bolt out, and the top is off. All right, I bought these spot weld drill bits off of Amazon. Came in a 3-pack. One is a 6.5 millimeter, the other one's a 10 millimeter. Then I got an 8 millimeter on the drill bit. And then this part's just easy, you just drill out those spot welds. Now before I start drilling, I'm gonna use the center punch to kind of make a little indentation in the middle of these spot welds. And I like this tool. It's called the automatic center punch. So you just put it in the middle and press down, and it pops a little hole in the middle. All right, then you get the drill. Drill now. And then you do that for all 18 of them. All right, so it's out. This one had more glue on this piece in the driver's seat. But yeah, you just have to get underneath from here, wedge something in, hit it as hard as you can, and then it comes off. Now for the aftermarket seat to fit flush, you're gonna have to cut you're gonna have to cut this top part off. And this is basically what it looks like. This is how much you'll have to cut off the top. So just go as close as you can to the top here and just cut straight across. Now this is a pivot point. Try to cut a little bit above it, and then just up to here. And then you have these two welds back here that you'll have to cut just above to get them off. And once you have that, then the next step is figuring out how to mount the aftermarket seats onto the stock rail. All right, so I have one seat already mounted to the stock rails, and didn't show none of this part, but basically what I did is made some little custom bracketry. So I've welded a bar across the back here. I had to do some cutting and grinding, but I got it back here. That way the bolt holes on the back of the seat will mount up to here. And might get creative and do something. I plastic dip this black because it would look like this. Let me show you the back seat. So here's the bracket. I welded it onto the stock rail seat slider. So did some welding on the outside, on the inside, and there it is. So now all I gotta do is mount them onto the car. I got resistors for the airbags that I also need to install, and I'll be doing that right now. All right, for the airbag harness here, you get your resistor, and I'll post up in the links below the ones you actually need. And it's this for the airbag, it's a 3-pin. You have to bridge the green and white, not the ground. Bridge those together to disable that airbag warning light. So I got my resistor here. Cut the legs on it, make it a little shorter. Alright, now legs are cut. And then bam, there it is. Now I'm gonna wrap it up with electrical tape and then be done with it. And if it doesn't work, I will let you guys know once I get everything back together. All right, so going out for a little drive and give these seats a review. I like them. They hold me in pretty well. They're comfort-wise, they're a little stiffer than the stock seats. around the legs. The only thing that I regret, or not really regret, but I'm going to work on, is how I installed them. Installing them on the stock bases, they sit up pretty high, even at the lowest adjustment point on the stock slider. So I'm going to try to modify them more, make them sit lower, and if I can't, I'm just going to have to go an aftermarket option. I like them, they're nice. Now the real question is how they hold up in the long run. This is vinyl PVC, so I wonder how they'll hold up to, you know, just coming in and out of the car, the bolsters, see how they hold up. But that will have to be a long-term review type deal. And this is probably like the 4th time of me driving the car with these seats on. But definitely, I wouldn't be too scared of running eBay seats on a daily driver. I did see a video of some guy that had eBay seats on a drift car, and the back broke off when he was doing his little shit, you know, drifting around. So for actual racing or drifting, I would recommend like a name brand. But just for like a daily driver or a show car, they look nice, they feel nice, you know, and I'm pretty sure they'll handle some spirited driving here and there, but nothing crazy. So I'll put links down below to these seats. Probably gonna be on eBay. I'm not sure if you can find them on Amazon. But yeah, definitely aesthetically pleasing, and highly recommend. Alright, so here's the finished product. Not much room up here, about 2-3 finger gap between the seat and the headliner. So you do sit a little higher, but I'll fix that somehow. But yeah, I like the look, and I like how they match the interior basically. There's my new radio, and I'll probably do a little video on that as well. So like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching.